Ramesh and all other people. Okay.
Yeah, you can request all to mute. I'm muting
Yeah.
now.
Yes. Hi, Meenakshi. Friends, it's a very, very solemn occasion for all of us. And I, as a secretary of Shankanetra Alumni Association, I was really blessed, and I say it's really a divine blessing for me to accompany Chief in the last journey. I was in the van when the body was taken to the Besant Nagar crematorium, along with Anand, who was sitting in the front. I was in the van with the chief and few other people, and it was a real great blessing. Are you able to hear me?
Please mute yourself, everybody.
It's not very clear, Mohan.
Yeah.
In between, the voice is breaking.
Yeah.
Mute it.
It was a divine blessing for me to accompany the divine soul of Chief and our Guru mentor, and it was a great thing for us to do it. And Anand did a very fantastic job of doing the rituals at Besant Nagar crematorium, and I take this opportunity to thank the entire family for this wonderful thing here. It's a very sad day for all of us, especially for all the Shankanetra alumni. We had a very, very beautifully organized meeting on Saturday at Nardagana Sabha, wherein all the public, as well as the donors, the well-wishers, the patients, as well as a huge number of alumni as well, the consultants and the staff of Shankanetra attended. It was a fully packed hall on that day. And hats off to Dr. TSS and Dr. GSR and the entire team of Shankanetra for organizing this. So, without much ado, I will just share a small video about Chief, so that because many people would have seen it when they were there for the Saturday meeting at Nardagana Sabha, just about the Chief, because I just wanted, because many things about Chief we didn't know until we saw this video. So this video, I'm going to show this video so that you can have this thing about this idea about what is going on. Are you able to see the video?
This is the story of a man who personified the ideology Paropakara Idyam Shariram. This life is to help others. We are, of course, talking about the legendary visionary Dr. S.S. Badrinath.
It's hanging.
February 24th, 1940, into a family deeply rooted in India's culture and tradition. Having graduated from the Madras Medical College in 1964, Dr. Badrinath pursued further studies in ophthalmology in the USA. He worked as a fellow at Massachusetts Eye and Ear Infirmary, Boston, under Dr. Charles L. Skeepens, the father of modern retinal surgery, from 1968 to 1970. Through determination, resilience, and unwavering support from his wife, Dr. Vasanthi, Dr. Badrinath carved his path, establishing himself as a consultant at Voluntary Health Services, Adyar, later private practicing at HM Hospital and Vijaya Hospital, Chennai, turning adversities into stepping stones. In 1978, with the blessings of his spiritual guru, Sri Jayendra Saraswati Swamigal of Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham, Dr. Badrinath and a group of philanthropists set up the Medical Research Foundation to provide comprehensive eye care to all sections of society. Shankara Nethralaya was thus created with a clear vision and mission, and nurtured with passion and compassion. The mobile refraction van, teleophthalmology, and the mobile eye surgical unit bear testimony to his success in this area. He was indeed a man way ahead of his times. He oversaw the establishment of the elite school of optometry, India's first school of optometry, the Shankara Nethralaya Academy and Allied Health Sciences College. Since its inception, Over 15 million national and international patients have been treated at Shankara Nethralaya. More than 1.1 million surgeries have been performed. 50% of patient services and 35% of surgeries are done free of cost. Over 2,500 ophthalmologists are trained here. In fact, 1 in 12 ophthalmologists in India today has trained in Nethralaya. SN was a pioneer not only in terms of clinical expertise, but also in ophthalmic and academic infrastructure. This was because Chief, as he was fondly known, was an inspiring human being, astute clinician, great lateral thinker, and a tough taskmaster. He relentlessly chased perfection in every aspect of work and life. He believed in simplicity and honest, hard work. Dr. Badrinath worked with a missionary zeal to offer affordable eye care to the underserved population. His exemplary service has been recognized in the form of several awards and honors, including the Padma Shri Award in 1983, Dr. B.C. Roy National Award in 1991, and the Padma Bhushan Award in 1999. His legacy will continue to live through the institution, his countless students, his impact on society, and his vision for a brighter future for all sections of society.
India has a great future. The future is in the hands of the youngsters. I would like the honor which has been done to me be an inspiration for all the youngsters in India to do the best what they can for India, though it is poor and wanting in healthcare. One day, I want this country to be the greatest country in the world.
What has always struck me about India is not the tremendous difference between wealth and poverty which exists in our country, the gap between the wealthiest and the poorest, but more than that, the gap between the sublime nobility of character on the one hand and the total degradation on the other. This strikes me as the most glaring contrast about India. And when I come to an institution like this, it replenishes my faith in the future of India. We feel that I'm in the midst of human beings who are human and who will one day make this country great by their dedication, by their sense of discipline, and by their service to their fellow man.
It's important that each one of us have a dream, a goal, a vision. Years ago, I had one such dream to provide uncompromised eye care in India to those who cannot afford it. This is the philosophy of Shankara Nethralaya. I invite you to be a part of the dream.
Friends, I'm sure that you'll all be inspired by this video. When I saw this video on Saturday, I started really crying, because when you see this 6-minute video, you know exactly how much of toil our chief, our guru mentor has undergone to make this world-class eye institute. And he has inculcated the philosophy in all of us. And that is why we are all blessed to be in the same era as chief, as well as work in this institute and get trained by him. Now, without wasting much time, I request the president of Shankara Nethralaya Alumni Association, Dr. Natarajan, to say a few words.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just want to share the screen. Thank you, Mohan. And I think I heard Dr. what's the name? Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll quickly go through. So this is a chief's photograph taken in Ramakrishna High School, and I didn't realize till long that I stayed next to it. And the ground was next behind my house in Tanjore Road. You can see Chief and I was a fellow. At the time, Arun Ellens was with him. And then only two of us. And this is unfortunately we lost.
Please mute.
Giridhar, you have to mute Giridhar. Giridhar?
No, it doesn't matter. Just quickly
Okay.
do it.
Anyhow, you see late Sita Lakshmi and Kishore, we lost them they were the DO students that time in 1984, 86, and you can see the picture with the.
I had to come out again. Why you want to
And,
put me out?
Chief came to today, Dr. Namparmal Sami showed the similar picture where he was receiving. This is in 95 when he came for the retina course. And this is again Sankaracharya, the man who gave the name.
One minute, Nati. I kindly request the others to mute, please. Others to mute, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. So the
Angiography of the eye. Okay.
so this is where Jayendra Swamigal came to Aditya Jyot and Giridhar.
Please mute.
Mohan sir, you can mute everybody as an admin.
Yeah, Dhanlakshmi, can you just mute everybody?
Okay, Doctor.
880.
No, Giridhar is not muted. So Mohan, can you call Giridhar and talk to him? I think he's not able to.
6939.
No, you call Mohan Giridhar, no?
I'll call him.
5194.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Can you mute everyone except the speaker?
I think Numerotech should be able to mute everyone.
Dhanlakshmi, can you mute everybody?
Yes, Doctor. Yes, Doctor.
Please mute everybody.
Nati, your 2 minutes are up.
Yeah, please, ma. Nati, make it fast. Hello? Dhanlakshmi?
Yes, Doctor. Yes, Doctor.
Okay.
Okay, I'm unmuted now.
Nati, just say a few words, Nati.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Yeah. So can you, so anyhow, Jayendra Swamigal was there and Chief made me examine. What happened? So this is Chief carrying Aditya when he was 1 year and 3 months, 50th birthday in Tirupati. And this again, he came in 2001 where you see the Sujal Shah there. And I'm happy he allowed us to celebrate his 75th birthday in Mumbai, along with Dr. Nakpal and Dr. Namparmal Swami. And this is again, he got the award. Mr. Bajaj is on the no more, but he's there. And you can see Chief visiting several functions in Mumbai.
Nati, we have other speakers, Nati.
Yeah, I know.
Fast.
Yeah.
Please.
And this is the one 1990 he did. And I showed this and I'm skipping. This is where when Tarun Sharma left, Anant and Chief was gave a party to him. And you can see how he's holding me. And thank you. And I
Thank
think
you.
we have learned, and whatever I am today and we all are today is because of him.
Thanks a lot, Nati. We'll go on to Dr. JB, Chairman Scientific Committee. JB, as you know, is the consultant UVA and ocular pathology.
It is very touching to listen to Chief's voice in the video. What I am today is due to Chief. Chief really saw that the Sankaracharya alumni meeting is held properly and with proper grandeur. And he used to go into the great details and supported organizing the SN alumni and will keep organizing the SN alumni. He has a very good research mind. And if like my work on ocular tuberculosis, Hill's disease, ocular pathology was ocular telepathology was envisaged by him. He told me to find out the best microscope in the city and provided the same. And I can go on and on. If what in one word is that if what I am today is due to him, and we will always cherish his memory, carry out his legacy and discipline. And I hope I can keep the lights on of Chiefs, which he has that caring the patients with sympathy, empathy, and dedication. That's all. So we'll
Thank you, JB. And thank you, JB. We go on to Dr. Cyrus and then followed by Dr. Ramurthy. Cyrus, Shroff.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
No sharing PPTs, please.
No, I'm just going to talk.
No, I'm just telling for others. Yeah.
Yeah, as JB and Nati just said, I think we are where we are and what we are because of Chief and the institution that he created. And in fact, Indian ophthalmology today and VR surgery in particular is where it is a lot because of him. The remarkable thing about Chief was that he was a unique blend of the West and the East. In his science and practice of ophthalmology, he was completely in Massachusetts Eye and Ear Infirmary, and he saw that everything that was done there was reproduced here to the T. But at heart, he was at Indian roots and values were at the core of whatever he did. And he saw that the philanthropy was a most important part of Shankar Nethralaya. Chief embodied simple living and high thinking, and Dr. Vasanti and he lived by that dictum all along. She has stood by him like a rock throughout. Now, heartfelt condolences to Madam Sheshav and Anand from all of us here, from the entire Shankar Nethralaya family, and from us here at the Shroff family. Om Shanti. And just before signing off, I'd just like to share in a lighter vein a short anecdote here. I still remember clearly one day Chief was firing everybody in the OT, and we were wondering what has gone wrong. And Madam just happened to come to the changing room and sat there. And I asked her, ma'am, what is the problem? Why is Chief in such a bad mood today? So she just looked around. She saw the tiffin and it was still full and not consumed. So she said, Cyrus, the simple thing, always remember, see to it that Badri has his lunch on time. So that was something which was really in a lighter vein, as I said, and he was simple person, but always, I think, fond of food and enjoyed that all along. Thank you.
Thank you, Cyrus, and over to Dr. Ramurthy from Coimbatore.
Thank you, Mohan, and thank you all for joining in. I was a fellow and later a consultant for just a couple of years in the years 83, 84, almost 40 years back. But the fact that even today we remember him, get together to pay our homage, talks volumes about the kind of impact that he had on all of us. It's not just the 2 years that we spent with him, but right through our professional lifetime, or for that matter, even our personal life, what he taught, what we invite from him, what he led by example, has left a great impact. And when I started just a 200 square feet clinic in Tirupur, he came all the way to inaugurate it. And it was his greatness, I'm sure. He has done that to many, many of us. And while there's a deep sense of loss, deep sense of feeling that some part of us has gone today, it's also a moment to celebrate a life so well lived. If it's not just feeling sorry for his passing away, but it's a moment of celebration. I believe the greatest homage that we can pay to him would be to lead the way he would have liked us to lead our lives, both in our professional as well as our personal lives, and at least try to achieve 1/10 of what he did in a lifetime. Whether people talk about the kind of institution that he created, Shankar Nethralaya is indeed a wonderful institution. But whether it's Eye Foundation, whether it's Rajan Eye Clinic, or whether it's Shroff Eye Center, I think there is a bit of Badrinath everywhere. And that's the lasting legacy that he has left behind. And that's the kind of impact he has had in Indian ophthalmology. Just to sign off in a similar manner as Cyrus, because Chief was not all work and no play. I still remember the day we came out of the theater at 9:30 in the night and his car had a puncture. I very gallantly offered him a ride in my bike, Crusader motorcycle, and right in front of Taj Coromandel, we had a puncture. And he took it all in his stride. And I think it was a mix of both learning, enjoyment, as well as respect that we have for him. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ramurthy. In fact, sense of humor, I would say that when I took the cognizant chairman to for fundraising 15 years back to Shankar Netralia, Chief introduced himself in saying that I'm Dr. Badrinath, I'm a medical professional as well as a professional beggar. So to get the funds, immediately, the next minute, the Cognizant chairman wrote off a check for 50 lakhs to Shankar Netralia. So that was the humility of Dr. Badrinath. Over to Dr. Vinay Nangia, because I'm going by seniority wise, I see a lot of people, they want to talk. Vinay Nangia and then followed by Kerobi. Vinay? Is there? I saw him. Kerobi, you can talk. Kerobi from Bombay. You muted. You're muted. Kerobi, you're muted.
Karobi, unmute yourself.
I think, Mohan, you should invite someone else, and then so that.
Sorry, Mohan. Do you want me to?
We will do that. We'll do that. Kerobi can. Vinay Nangia is there. Vinay, can you talk?
Yeah, I will.
Make it short and sweet for about 1 or 2 minutes, please.
Yes. So, good evening, everyone. And I think all of us have lived together at Shankar Netralaya. And the words that came to my mind was, this everything that Chief did, it becomes one big event in which, we all have played a very small role, a part in his life. And he has played a very big part in our lives, actually. And, all my colleagues have expressed already the fact that there's a little bit or maybe a lot more of Chief in us, in our profession, in our lives. And, all of us have got some very special moments with him. And I suddenly realized, as I heard everyone speaking, that I was not the only one that he made feel special. I think he made almost every one of you also feel special whenever he interacted with you and gave you so much time. With all of you, I will miss him very dearly. And I agree with all of you that we will try to keep his hopes and aspiration alive in our work and in our lives. Thank you very much for this opportunity, Mohan.
Yeah, thank you, Vinay. Thank you, Vinay. Kerobi, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Can you hear me?
Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mohan. This is a moment of great grief and agony for all of us because we all sort of loved him and adored him so much. And it is just that yesterday I was in conversation with Madam, and she was trying to put on a brave face. And the feeling was very sad because the thing is that you could, like, sort of behind her words, you could feel her pain and sorrow. I just spoke a few words about Chief, about how we related to him, and she was feeling a little happy from that kind of situation. But one thing about Chief, I should say, is his total humane approach. I still remember the time when my father had got paralyzed, and he was going in and out of the hospital for radiations. And I remember once he had come to Bombay, and I had gone to meet him because he was at Vatsal's clinic. And it was our route from Jaslok Hospital to Bombay Hospital. My father was in the ambulance down, and I just told them that you wait for 2 minutes, I'll meet my boss and come. So I had gone up and I spoke to him, and then I told him, sir, if you will excuse me, I have to take my dad back to Bombay Hospital. This was 2 floors high. The lift was not working that time. I remember Chief said that I will come with you and meet your dad. And he walked down with me. He walked over the flyover which was there, on which the vehicle was parked. And he came and he met Daddy over there, which was such a very sweet thing and touching thing to do, because it's not just about you being this. Yes, he was fantastic. He was a visionary. He did everything. He's taught all of us. But these are those very little small things which touched your heart somewhere. And these are things which you will never forget about that person. And that was how he was, whether it was and not only him eating, he used to always share it with us. He knew that I liked Ade, so whenever Ade used to come in his dabba, he used to send it across to the quarters for us to have. It is these very small things that you think of and you reflect that a man of that size and that kind of greatness is capable of all this. This is all that I have to say, but still, it's like a very, very sorrowful moment for all of us. And I wish him good luck. And I know he's watching over us. And I wish him all the best wherever he is today. Thank you.
Thank you, Kirabi. I think beautifully mentioned. I think Tarun was mentioning on Saturday during the condolence meeting how he's got that immersive experience, how Chief can get into your heart and transform you completely. And that has got the magnetic, what you call the personality he had. And Surendra Basti, all the way from Chicago, and KVR are more or less in the same batch. I request them to say a few words, and then we go on to Colonel R.P. Gupta, then Madhu, then Ale Banker, and Kasturi, and Arsha. Yeah. So,
KVR, you first.
KVR, unmute.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead, Surendra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basti, go on.
Mohan and Nati and group, thanks for organizing this. It's most befitting. Like all of you, I too have had so many personal experiences with Chief. The most touching of which was he came for a fundraiser to Chicago, and he spoke a few words to the donors and then came and sat in the audience. But he also asked me to speak and then came and sat next to me. And for the subsequent 30 minutes, all he did was hold my hand and sit quietly. And somebody else was speaking and something else was going on. But in saying no words, but just holding my hand for 30 minutes, I almost couldn't believe it, that a man of that stature and someone who's godly to me did something like that. And with no words, he conveyed to me what he wanted to convey, which is really a feeling of fatherly love that all of you have experienced. I mean, I'm amazed to read all the stories and experiences. So it's a lesson much more than ophthalmology that we've all learned from him. And like all of you said, I think it behooves us to keep the flag flying. Prayers and lots of love to Chief and his family. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Basti, for joining us. And over to KVR.
Of course.
Okay. Many thanks for this opportunity. So like all of us have had several locations where he has lifted up from a basic level. We were all, pieces of mud. And so many times he has given an opportunity to lift ourselves up. And, when you're doing some surgery, and sometimes I remember my first cataract, and those days the postgraduates were supposed to do intercaps, some 25 intercaps. Even before I went out of the OT, he had declared to everybody started coming and complimenting. He said, KVR got a hand of, rock steady hand, something like that. And then, when I continued as a consultant, and, we used to have a long list. And then somehow I used to finish my day pretty quickly. So he used to go around saying that, he's amongst the quickest retinal surgeon that operated. I mean, so very many ways. And also all of us have the experience of having had plenty of goodies from him. All of us, without exception. And sometimes he used to give it in a measured way. I remember one occasion where I went to speak to him on some assignment he had given or something. It was during the early days of being consultant. He reprimanded me very severely. To an extent, I felt very demoralized. I finished that meeting and went to the class, which was there an hour later. Just 1 hour before, he had reprimanded me in private. And in open meeting with 50 people around, he came to me and apologized to me in public. How many of the leaders today have that kind of a moral conviction and courage to come out and, sorry, Ravi, I think I hurt you a lot. This is what he said. So it's a very rare kind of opportunity we have had in our life for uplifting ourselves. And through our work, surely we'll pay a rich tribute to his leadership, even if we imbibe 5% of his qualities and do 1% of what work he has done, I think a great work would have been done in Indian ophthalmology. But that's it. I want to say and pray for the soul to rest in peace.
Thanks,
Thank you.
KVR. And Ramesh, being the treasurer of the Shankar Netra Alumni Association, and he can say a few words, Ramesh.
Thanks so much, Mohan. Mohan, although I left in 1988, I was very surprised to see that he was upset about Chief passing away. So I sent those long messages and kind of poured my heart out in the Alumni Association. So what more to say? He touched us all, he transformed us. Like you all know, we were like clay without knowing anything when we entered. And we saw a person having such a high standard in ophthalmology, in ethics, and the way he behaved. And looking back, look at his dreams, what he has done to transform the institution and us. If there is a God, definitely he has reached God. His soul has reached God. I am very, very certain about this. I have no doubt at all. He is not a normal man at all. He is an extraordinary person. It is all our privilege to have spent some time with him.
Yes, Ramesh. As for us, all of us at Shankar Netralaya is the temple and Chief the God. And we are following all the principles, whatever philosophy of Shankar Netralaya. Colonel R.P. Gupta, few words.
Thank you, Dr. Mohan. The Saturday meeting, you had said that Chief is Padam Bhushan, but for all of us, he is Bharat Ratna. Actually, I think that he is Bharat Ratna not only for all of us, he is for whole Indian ophthalmology. He has done too much of work. As for defense services, he has done quite a lot of work. The Indian Peacekeeping Force Sri Lanka, all cases, I was ophthalmologist at that time in Madras. So all cases which were not treatable by me, I used to take directly to him, and he has done on priority all cases he has done. Similarly, in Kargil War also, all cases from Srinagar Hospital were transferred to Army Hospital, Delhi, and then onwards they were transferred to Shankar Netralaya, and they were done. And the Chief, along with Dr. JB, has done in collaboration with AFMC and Cardiothoracic Center a research project. Dr. JB knows it well. A research project has been done in tuberculosis on AIDS disease, which was original research, and it has benefited. This research has benefited much, where it was pointed out with research rate that with PCR that the tuberculosis is responsible for that. So, I mean, a lot of work he has done for this for armed forces. Similarly, if everybody puts up the work which has been done by the chief in collaboration, actually directly or indirectly, whatever work we have done, that also because chief has taught us, and then we have propagated. Yeah, even we are doing, our students are doing. So that is also basically prime is that he has done. Then only we are able to do. So for me, I think we all should recommend him for Bharat Ratna, and that should be taken officially. And every one of us should give whatever he has done for the nation. For so many things are basically for nation only. So all of us should put, and then we should forward it that he should be given Bharat Ratna.
Absolutely, sir. Colonel, sir, I think it's a very good idea, and we are working on that. Already, it's I think we have through the association, through the institution, I think we should recommend him for Bharat Ratna, which he richly deserves. Partha Biswas is there. He's the vice president of AAOS. And Partha?
Yes, Mohan.
Yeah.
Yes, Mohan. Am I heard?
Yes. Please, go ahead.
Yes. Mohan and everybody, we all know the pain that we all bear, and each one in his individual heart bears a pain stronger than the other. That's what one feels. For me, it is similar to every one of you. I just remember one or two instances, and one instance I would like to share. It was a very late night, and back from the ED call, I had come and I had drawings to do. And after doing the drawings at 11:30, I was still waiting. And Mahesh was my consultant. Mahesh had not come at that time. And then over the drawing, I think I fell asleep. And suddenly I got up and there was a blanket on my shoulder. And I quickly got up and then rushed to sister's room. And sister said that, Dr. PAB, you have fallen asleep. And chief came by and he saw you asleep. He put that blanket on you. And I think it's that same touch or the blanket that he has given to all of us. And that's what we are. That's where we are. And I think we need to carry out his legacy. We need to do the same thing in any small way to what he has done for us. Thank you.
Absolutely, Partha. Thank you very much. Kasturi and Arsha. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so sad. Like, I feel that the chief living earth have really left a profound void in the hearts of all members of Sri Shankara Deva Netrala in Guwahati, because the association of chief with our institution has been right from the formative years, and he had contributed in every step for the development of Sri Shankara Deva Netralaya. He was like a father to all of us. Like, I have been knowing him since, I think, 1994, when the hospital started. At that time, I have just entered into my residency program. And when I came to Shankar Netralaya with my younger daughter, only 3 months, and the elder 2 years, Chief helped me to have a accommodation within the campus. And it was so kind of him. Like, he used to make sure that everything is well, like the babies are having the food and all. And many a times he had taken us to and he'll drive by himself. Like, he was a real father figure to all of us. So today we are so truly thankful for all the priceless contribution he had done for Shankardev Netralaya, and also not only Shankardev Netralaya, the development of ophthalmology in Northeast and Eastern India, in fact the whole of India. And I can really, and all of us are today feeling the void with his absence. And I feel that his absence is felt in every step. And we need to acknowledge that we are all acknowledging today the emptiness that has resides like in our heart. So on 27, like when Chief has left us, I was abroad for some meeting. And then when we came back on 27, we organized a condolence meeting. And I also agree to the previous speakers who are mentioning that we should also try for the highest honor for Chief, the Bharat Ratna. So with this, I conclude Om Shanti. It's really a big loss for each one of us.
Thank you, Kasturi. I think your Shankar Dev Netralaya is doing us, all of us, very proud, and you're doing such a good work. I think it's really what do you call the blessings of Chief and.
Was his dream. Like, he really wanted to uplift and the ophthalmology in Northeast. And today, what we are, it is because of the dream of Chief and help from Chief and every member of Shankar Netralaya since then and even now.
Thank you. And Dr. Madhu, please. Then we followed by Ale Banka.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
So first time Chief interacted with me in 1989, and I've been part of two organizations, Army and Sitapur Eye Hospital. Army, Dr. Gupta has already told, so I wouldn't talk about Army now, but all I would say is, when I was stuck in my life, if a critical decision was required, the person who just appeared from nowhere, and that was Chief. Like, I met him in Nepal in Apau, and there was a problem of IOLs. I was posted there in Army. And he said, you do it, nothing will happen. And that was it. And I did only IOLs. I'm just talking of way back, like 90 or 91, something like that. And in Sitapur, when I came, he was worried and he came to Sitapur. He blessed and he said, what does one thing you asked from me? I said, sir, I want to start VR department here because it's really badly off. He gave a surgeon and he helped in so many ways. And all I would say, had he not entered my life, had he not entered the Sitapur VR department, both of us would not have been where they are today. Thank you so much, Mohan.
Thank you, Madhu ma'am. I think Sitapur Hospital is also, I think, divinely blessed by Chief, and that's the reason why it is also doing very well. It's the blessings of Chief is a vision of Chief which has taken all of us so far. And over to Ale Banker, Ahmedabad.
Thank you, Mohan. As you're talking about vision, I was just want to mention a small incident. 1994 March, I was posted with Chief, and just on the second day of my posting, he came and gave me the news that he had to go to US for a meeting, and so he's going to be out for 2 weeks. And then he said, 1994 March, okay, guys? He said, you have to go to IIT Madras. It was known as IIT Madras then, and you have to work on a project on artificial intelligence in ophthalmology. Way back in 1994. And in those days, we did not have internet. He actually gave me an IIT student, and I used to go to IIT Chennai every day in the morning, work with the guy. We used to get references from the National Medical Library. We did not have the internet. So we'll have all the things coming from Delhi. And we searched and searched and searched. We did not find a single reference about artificial intelligence in ophthalmology. And lo and behold, 2 weeks, he comes back and he asked me, where's my publication? And I gave him all the references saying that there has not been a single publication on ophthalmology. And you can imagine how mad he must be at me, saying that's exactly the reason why I gave you the project, that we have to be the first ones to do and think about artificial intelligence in ophthalmology. So you can imagine how visionary he was way back in 1994, and today we are all talking about artificial intelligence. Hats off to him.
Really, hats off to him. Really, that's a way I think he has taken us all forward. And I want Dr. Vijaya and Gopal, LG are there because they've been there right from the beginning, and I want them, if they are to say a few words here. Vijaya and Gopal.
Yeah.
Vijaya, LG,
Yeah,
sir. LG, sir, please, sir.
Yeah, I deliberately didn't want to talk because other alumni should have an opportunity to express their
Done, sir.
emotions and feelings. I just would like to say that I have been with him for almost 40 years. And if there's one person who changed my life entirely, it is Dr. Badrinath. I think we see him almost like equal to my father and my mother, because without having stepped into Shankar Nethralaya and fallen into his tutelage, I probably would have been an unknown person somewhere here. But just because I joined Nethralaya and became his student, my whole life was changed totally. And if I am what I am today, as everybody expressed, it's only because of him. And I don't think there's any words can express the kind of emotions we are going through for the loss of somebody who is considered not just as our teacher, but as our parent and everything, actually, all in all. With these few words, I would like to ask others to express their own emotions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It's really inspiring. And LV?
Thanks, Mohan. I think I just echo Gopal's sentiments. We treated Madam and Chief on par with our parents. The feeling what we have today is the same feeling like we lost our father. There are so many memories and so many emotions that, we can talk about him for hours, and we are blessed to be part of his life. And my only concern is we should remember, the younger generation should remember him, and we have a great responsibility of celebrating his life and leaving behind a lot of legacy and memories for the younger generation. The fruits what we enjoy today in Nethralaya is because of his hard work, and people who come to Nethralaya should realize what he has done for the country, what he has done for the ophthalmology community. Thank you.
Thank you, Vijaya. I think you hit the nail on the head. Whatever the teachings of Chief, we should, as alumni, it is our responsibility and it is our duty to take it forward to the community and making sure that the ophthalmology percolates down, making available, accessible, affordable eye care to everybody. That was the Chief's philosophy. That is the philosophy of Shankar Nethralaya, and that is what I think we are all doing it all our institutes as well. And anybody else?
Mohan, Pradeep Saraf is there. He's also
Pradeep Saraf.
from Calcutta.
I also have Anantalakshmi here, who is the first batch of Elite School of Optometry, who is the chief of optometry at Rajan Eye Care now. Anantalakshmi Krishnamurthy, and she has got a very, very, very strong association with chief. And Anantalakshmi can also say a few words, followed by Pradeep. And Seema is there. Seema is from USA. She's also there. She's one of the oldest fellows of Shankar Nethralaya, earliest fellows, and I would say. Seema, if you are there, you can also talk.
Yes, sir. Sir, can I talk now?
Yeah, Anantalakshmi, yes.
Yeah. Am I audible? Yeah. Sir, see, when you were all talking about ophthalmology, we didn't know what optometry was in 1985. See, we were a group of bunch of students who had completed +2, and many of us who did not get medical seat. When we saw an advertisement in Hindu paper that we literally joined optometry only because of one name, Dr. Badrinath. We didn't know anything in optometry other than chief. So when we had applied for this course, it was like we had a series of tests, we had interview, and 20 of us were selected, and the college was started on Ganesh Chaturthi in 1985. It was a 4-year course, and chief literally treated us like his own children. He used to call us as chotus. So he was a legendary visionary, and when everyone asked us what is the point in learning retina, what is the point in learning posterior segment, why should an optometrist learn all these things, he always stood with us and he said, why should they not learn? They are not going to compete with you, they are going to complement your work. That was his answer to all of them, and he would always encourage us to learn the best thing. Like cornea was taught to us by Dr. PP. Dr. Gopal used to teach us neuro-opthal, binocular vision, and he himself will sit and he will teach us retina class. At least twice a month, he will have us make a case present in front of him, and he will say, when we are posted in retina department, you make the drawing and I make the surgery. He will always say that. He will say, you learn everything, whatever is there, you have to learn everything in optometry. You have to complement. You are all vision scientists. He has always said that ophthalmology and optometry are two eyes. They should run together. And not only, like, as all of you have experienced, all our batchmates would also say that he was when I was the first one to get married in my batch, he was very particular that he sees the groom and he says, I want to talk to him. I will ask him whether he is going to allow you to practice optometry. And when my classmates had some health problems, he was the one who will go. And like we cannot, like it was, he helped in everything. No, when we never had a lab, he used to take us to WCC and he asked us to practice physics there. And he got all the best teachers, and optometry has grown up to a different level worldwide only because of chief. And ours was the first batch of Elite School of Optometry, which was a 4-year course when government was having a diploma.
Thank you, Anantalakshmi. Thank you, Anantalakshmi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah. Pradeep, just make it short and sweet, please. 1 minute. Pradeep Saraf from Calcutta.
Everyone has spoken everything about the chief, that he is a nice person and his teaching was very good. But I would like to say that when he used to do difficult retinal surgeries that time, and he used to have failures, he used to just say one thing: I have done my best. And that taught me a lot, that in difficult times, you keep on learning, do the better, and strive in the difficult times. That's all.
Thank you, Pradeep. And Seema, please go ahead.
Hey, hello everybody. What can one talk about a God's gift to us, right? Everybody is talking so much. I do not want to take anybody else's feelings to express here, but he was a candle that just shone the light for all of us. He consumed himself to give us the backbone of knowledge, skills, and wisdom. We can't even say, oh, we should permeate this to all the generations and the future generations. He's already permeated. A legend cannot be permeated with his own accord. So I just am very thankful for where we all are together because of this one great soul and Auntie and Anant and Seshu, who had to take the brunt of what he did. And I remember just one very important thing about him is admitting your mistakes. I don't think I was even 6 months into Shankar Netra now, not even a doctor. And he came and told me how he chewed up a retina while doing the vitreoretinal surgery. And I was just amazed looking at this man of what truthfulness is. So with this, I thank everybody for joining today.
Thank you, Seema, for joining all the way from the US. Giridhar runs a very successful eye institute, Giridhar Institute in Cochin. Is one of the earliest fellows and much senior to me as well. Giri, please. You are muted, Giri. You are muted.
KRS has joined.
KRS, meanwhile, while Giri is getting ready, KRS, former chairman of Shankar Netralaya, and KRS, my teacher and my guru always. KRS, sir, please.
Hi, sorry, Mohan, I couldn't join because I was stuck up in the heavy traffic. I got stuck at Coimbatore.
The heavy rains, by the way, for people,
yeah.
heavy rains in Chennai.
Yeah. Anyway, so what can one say about Chief here? He is a chief to everybody. He's a universal chief. And I very vividly remember, and there are many phases of Chief's interaction. As I know that I had spent quite a bit of time in SN. As a student, as a consultant, as an administrator, I've had very close association interaction with him one-to-one. And first of all, I'll just take 2-3 minutes. As a student, I think I was a very raw DO from Delhi. And I just applied because I knew about Chief's name. Dr. Prema was already there and Dr. BSR was there. So they were my seniors in Delhi. I had applied. I had no way. I thought that I will select it, but he just called me for an interview. And the very first question he asked me was, are you willing to put in hard work? Are you willing to work with a meager salary? I am not going to offer you much. And are you going to leave in between? These are the 3 things which he asked. Because just 1 or 2 months before I joined, one of my senior residents from Delhi had joined as a VR fellow and then he quit. So he was very particular. I had said, I just come here to learn and whatever you offer me, there's enough for me. And 1 year of fellowship just passed off like that. And my clinical acumen got fine-tuned. And that was the time when he was also thinking of adding all subspecialties. Dr. Manju, Dr. TSS, Chandran, Mary, Prema, BSR were all there. And then he was trying to build an institution. And at that time, DNB accreditation came for SN. And he said, since I was only a DO, he said, are you willing to undergo DNB? I said, yes, more than willing. And then he created a special slot for me. And that was the first time, and then an evening OPD and Sunday clinic was started. And he made me study in the morning, and he gave me all his library used to be in his room. If you all know, his books were all there. He said, everything is for you, you can just consume that. I think in a year or two, I successfully cleared DNB, was so happy for that. And then as the institution grew, more and more specialties came, and he was always thinking in terms of encompassing the optometry, ONA, which was not at all, the ophthalmologists were against. He made it a point to include all these visual sciences, as Anantalekshan pointed out, and then he thought that he wanted me to head the optometry, and you know how the optometry school has progressed till now. And then slowly the ONA came, and then the FRCS people came for the inspection. And then he said, are you interested in doing FRCS? I said, yes, I'm more than willing to do it. So that's how I think my association with FRCS started. And then soon FRCS examinations started coming here, and like had so many interaction. he was not only an educator, clinician, but par excellent human being. So I remember when I was not well, I wanted permission to see a doctor for a procedure. So we had to ask his opinion. I mean, his permission to go out, no? And he said, "Why are you going?" He said, I had to get a biopsy done. And those days I used to come in a scooter, two-wheeler. He said, "No way you're going on a two-wheeler." He accompanied me as an attender, and they just stood while a biopsy was done for me. This I will never forget.
Thank you, sir.
And yeah, and the other thing which I like to, the other memory I have is, even if after I left SN, he remembered, and then whenever he used to pass T Nagar, he came and sat in my clinic for 10-15 minutes, spoke with me, spent some time with me in a wheelchair. So that is the lasting impression I have of Chief. Such a great human being.
It's a great loss, great human being, as you rightly said. Giridhar, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, Mohan. Can I just say a few words?
Sure.
I don't want to say anything about Chief because I think so much has been said. But I've been in touch with Gopal and Vijaya last few days, and I have visited the.
Your audio is not clear.
I think he's got a net problem, I think.
Yeah. Okay, we'll come back to Giridhar, and Dr. Gangadhar from Singapore is there. Gangadhar, as you know, is a top oculoplastic surgeon in Singapore, and he worked in Shankar Nethralaya as well. Ganga?
The people who are working.
Also is there from Singapore.
I think this will be a fantastic thing because so much of material is available, and I think it can be collated, and it will take little time, but I'm sure this is something which will really be a great contribution to the for the institution also, and also for the alumni. So this is something which I wanted to say, and nothing more. I mean, I've also been.
What was the matter? Because we couldn't hear that, Giridhar. What did you do? We couldn't hear that when you said.
I see. I mean, I just told that, I have visited the Oro lab in Madurai, and there is a museum depicting the history of GB and simultaneously tracing the history of Arvind Eye Hospital. So similarly, we can think of a museum tracing the history, because life of Chief is life of Shankar Nethralaya. There is nothing. His life revolved around that one institution all his life. So we can trace his life along with the history of Shankar Nethralaya and create a museum, and this will be a great contribution so that his legacy is permanently remembered.
No, yeah, Dr. TSS was telling me, I am sure Vijay also knows about it, that this entire, the first floor of wherever Chief's cabin was there, he's been converting, they're planning to convert that into a museum. Am I right, Vijay?
That I'm not sure. The main 18 College Road will be named after.
That is okay.
Yeah, campus will be.
Also his cabin, he said he will be converted into a museum.
But that's a very small area.
Yes. Yes.
That's a very small area.
Yeah, let us all work together with the Alumni Association as well as with the SN. We'll work together and we'll think of some plan. And Ganga, over to you.
Thanks, Mohan. I mean, like each one of you are legends. He has left an indelible mark on everybody, and like each one of you, I am where I am because of him today in more ways than one. Just three important things. Number one, I think we should also pay tribute to all the legends who have continued the legacy within Shankar Nethralaya, Dr. Surendran, Dr. Gopal, Dr. Vijaya, all the people who have stayed back, and those of us who have gone out to do other things as well. Number one, I think respect to all of them carrying that memory. One of the greatest things I want to talk about is the generosity that he had in 2018. He joined us for the APOTS meeting, and more importantly, was gracious and generous enough to launch my book, my first book on orbital fractures. It shows how great and generous a soul he was. Just on the scientific front, I'll just tell you one thing, that 2-3 years I was there, we used to do DCRs in 20-25 minutes. And he called me to his office and said, Gangadhar, How long will it take to make a hole between the eye and the nose? Should not take more than 5 minutes. So in a way, I'm doing now a procedure called ELDRs, which does take 5 minutes of recanalizer nasolaceral duct. So in a way, I think of him. So let's keep his legend alive. And in a way, I think he still lives amongst us because each one of us is carrying his traditional values. Thanks very much, Mohan and Nati.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ganga, for the nice words. And
Dr. PPS has joined. PP Soundarajan.
yeah, but yeah, I think if there are no other people,
sir, can I?
anybody else?
Sir, can I? Chawla.
Gajendra Chawla, Bhopal.
Yes.
Chawla, please.
Sir, we have listened a lot about Chief personality, everything, how strict, how disciplined, how everything, how he was a father to all of us. He was very strict in the hospital, but he was very humble. And he loved to each and everyone and respect his student. When I finished my fellowship in 93, I joined Venue Hospital in after that. When he came for a conference in 94, last after 94 at Delhi, some consultant, I don't remember the name, probably it was Dr. Savitri from LVP. She, Chief and Dr. Savitri met, and I was working with Venu Eye Hospital at that time. So Chief said, "Oh, yes, my student is there. Ask him to contact me and give his number where I was staying in the Taj." When I spoken to him, he called me to the Taj for a cup of coffee with my wife, and my wife was carrying my son Ashul, who is doing his fellowship at Shankarnath right now. So when we had a coffee, Chief and Madam has given some ornament, some har from what they were coming from Sai Baba, and she said, "Ki this is her Sai Baba has given and given to my wife for some time. It is a blessing of Sai Baba, and it will give your son and your pregnancy well." And there was so touching moment, like after that Ashu born, which is now in Shankarnath, and probably he is also listening to this meeting, and he will be definitely incorporating the what the teaching I got from Shankarnath. He will be also getting the same teaching, and probably will try to do something what he was taught to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Chawla. Go to Dinesh Garg. Just make it fast now, 1 minute, please.
Yeah, just a minute. I was a General Officer Fellow way back in 94, 95. So my interaction with him was not much. Still, I continued to write mails and interacted with him whatever way I could. I was attached to Netralaya through ma'am, Dr. LV ma'am, Dr. LG ma'am. But when he came to Ludhiana once for a I think it was an invited lecture by one of the trusts. I had requested him to give some time that I can meet him. So he invited all the whole family for a breakfast. So that was the kind of person he was. So I still remember those that breakfast meeting, and everybody cherishes that. Whatever we are because of him.
Really nostalgic talking about Chief, because he has visited each and every one of us and touched each and every heart. And over to Ashok Rangarajan is there. Ashok and Sumita. And Ashok, you want to say a few words? Yes.
So I'll just be quick. I consider it that I was privileged. He roped me in to work for two of his important visions. One was he wanted to look at community ophthalmology as a separate specialty. I don't know how many of you know that. And I was there in 96, 97 when he wanted to expand the community services. We were doing just about 6 to 8 surgeries per day at that time. And he wanted to help out the Pammal group at that time because they could not run that building. That was made a community ophthalmology hospital. Now, while he threw me into the deep part of the sea, and there were a large number of patients coming in, and the place was expanding, I got one thing very clear, which is what has seeped into my system now. He truly practiced what is called the single standard of care for the haves and have-nots. That was number one. So the standard of care never dropped down because the numbers went up. Second thing he made it very clear is that you cannot just run community services on donor support. So you have to make it self-sustaining. Now, while he was throwing me into the deep end of the sea, there was always that helping hand there. And while there were those studies coming in left, right, and center, I must say he had a large heart. So he had the care that every evening I would come to meet him at 8:30 to 9 in the night, and I would see him working. So when you see your leader working more than you, you're automatically encouraged to work. He would feed me. He would also kind of advise me that you cannot be going back home every day at 10 in the night. Why don't you look at a place near the place of work? So that was one. Community ophthalmology from then on really developed. And the second vision of his, which he wanted, was he came out with a study. I don't know where he read that, saying that one of the important, or probably the second most important cause of blindness in the country after cataract was poorly performed cataract surgeries. So he was telling me that I was also, as a part of community ophthalmology, looking into the training of the PGs and fellows. So he wanted to expand that in a big way. And we probably started in January 2000 with his guidance, the Ratan Tata Fellowship, which was a pan-India fellowship. That was the first fellowship where we were paying a stipend to those students to train them. His idea was you have to make it good such that when they go back and perform, overall standards of care across the country will improve. So like Dr. Ramamurthy said, in the course of all this, a little bit of Dr. Badrinath, our chief, has entered all of us in our systems. And even today, when especially after the day he passed away, I feel every day when I'm doing something good or following his principles, he's smiling at me from above. And I definitely cannot do a slipshod work because I can literally see him frowning at me. So, thank you, Chief. My pranams to you wherever you are. And I'm sure he's blessing us all from there. Thank you for giving me this chance.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ashok. I think it's all very, very true, whatever you said. I think he always used to say that there are two things. If you have to make an effort, that is hard work and passion. If you don't have these two, then you cannot survive in ophthalmology or whatever in medical practice. You cannot become successful. You cannot excel. There's a difference between being normal and being excelling. And that is what I think Chief developed in us, in all of us. And that's why we are all successful. We are all really blessed. And Sudhir, he was a consultant in Nethralaya now. Sudhir, I think we are almost at the end of it, and another
Sampath is there from UK.
No, ask him whether he wants to speak. No.
Sampath?
Yeah, ask.
Thank you, Mohan, Nati. Yes, to me, to be honest with you, it has not actually sunk into me as yet that he is not physically there with us anymore, but I resonate with everybody when they say that he's still amongst us, and that is what I feel. When I joined Nethralaya, actually, this was back in 1990, the exams for the DO had already occurred. So there was still a gap of 10 months before the next DO exam. So he introduced me to Dr. Bhaskaran and said that if I would work in internal medicine for about 10 months before I gave my exam. So I agreed, and that was a very nice experience actually for me. I have a special relation as well with a chief because he's related to me through Vasanti madam. But in the training that I received, in the strictness and discipline, he treated all the fellows absolutely equally. There was no difference at all. And when I sort of had a direct training with the retinal detachments, the buckles with him, he was multi-pleased because I could use my left hand to put the sutures as well. And then he took me home, and then I had idli and sambar in his house after that, and I still remember that. And after some years, when I expressed to him that I want to go to the UK and get trained, there was a sort of a farewell, that was there in Nethralaya, down there in the basement. And when he said that, Sampath is going away for about 6-7 years and then he will be coming back,
And those 6-7 years have not happened as yet, actually, because I'm still here. But I certainly miss him, and it's a very sad thing that he's physically no longer there. Each time when I come there too. Thank you.
Thank you, Sampath and Sudhir, and then followed by Sumita. You want to say something?
Good evening, all. I think everybody has spoken about Chief. One thing which we all missed is he looks into our unfulfilled desires. I think when I had met him and he had given me a great responsibility, one of his dream project of taking electronic medical records. Even US was not implementing EMR, but he had this great idea and he wanted to do it. And he gave the whole responsibility to me. And everyone knows he's very strict and he will follow and do a micromanagement, but he said, you do everything and come back and show it to me. And he had a checklist, and when I showed him, he said, you have fulfilled all the things whatever I want, and he was so happy. And I was at least happy to take it not only at SN, but he said we should give it to all the people outside and our SN alumni. And today we have more than 20 institutions with almost at 175 centers, more than 10,000 people using EMR on a given day. And I owe this to Chief, and he had really fulfilled my unfulfilled desire of actually I wanted to join IIT, but I didn't get IIT, but I got medicine. But he somehow grasped that and he gave this responsibility, and I could now fulfill both of them. Thank you very much. And I think we all pray for his soul to rest in peace.
Sudhir, thank you very much. I think the EMR is really fantastic. We are using that, you know that very well. It's really, in my opinion, the gold standard EMR as far as ophthalmology is concerned. And Chief always, when I met him a few years back in his house, he said, there is a EMR, you can use this EMR for community ophthalmology also. You can even use it in your camps, and it's really fantastic. And Sumita, quick.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, so I never trained at SN, so I'm not that way alumni, but I think I became, when I joined, he told me on the first day that he was the very, very tough taskmaster, and he took me under his tutelage, sent me to Child Trust Hospital for training. He posted me with anesthetist, and I think I became a better clinician and a better pediatric ophthalmologist in many ways, thanks to Chief. So I'm very thankful to get this opportunity to express this here. And I hope he rests in peace wherever he is. Thank you.
Mahesh Shanmugam is there. He's the convener for the scientific committee for VRSI. Mahesh, are you there online?
Thanks, Mohan. The Chief is not there physically, but then you cannot take Chief out of all of us, because he has imparted life's values to us, and more than ophthalmology, we learned the life values, and he lived by them. In that way, he'll never be away from us. So we are grateful to what we are, and thanks, Mohan, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mahesh, and you were there on Saturday as well, and it was really a fantastic speech you gave about Chief and how to live. He has learnt us how to live. And anybody else? I think we can close.
I think we should.
Sriram Gopal is there. Sriram Gopal, VR Fellow and Secretary of Tamil Nadu Ophthalmic Association, is going to represent TNOA as well.
Bakalesh is there.
Sriram Gopal. Yeah, then
I would like to speak, if allowed.
Sriram, 1 minute, please. We are already 9:45.
And Rashmin Gandhi also is there.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, Sriram.
Sriram,
come. Yeah.
My good friends. If she's online, can greet herself. Dr. Kavita, are you online? Good evening, sir. Sir,
what is happening to your audio?
Former fellow of SN and also now the current secretary of Tamil Nadu Association.
I think his net is not good.
No, Sriram,
Yeah.
can you come
is it
back?
better now, sir?
No, we can't hear you, Sriram.
We can't hear you properly. Audio, some problems there. Rashmin.
Now, sir?
Yeah, you come back. We come back to you. Rashmin.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. I mean,
everybody has expressed the feeling and our respect for Chief so beautifully. I just wanted to say that, there are people who have never trained at SN, have never worked with. We all were family members with Chief, but there are people who have never worked with Chief, who have never been in Shankar Netralaya, and they have been affected. I can see my colleagues here at Center for Sight, and they feeling that real loss that we are feeling. And I think that was the greatness of Chief, that he touched everybody in world of ophthalmology, and that's something which is amazing. I mean, may he rest in peace wherever he is.
Baklesh wants to speak. Baklesh?
Baku's there. Baku?
Yeah, he's there. Baklesh is there.
Baklesh? Yeah, make sure the audio is working.
He is muted. Baklesh? Even Dr. Surendran sir is there. Surendran?
TSS sir, can you just, I thought he was not there. TSS.
TSS is there.
Sir.
Dr. Surendran?
Wonderful job, very laborious and very, very correct, rate and precise. Really commendable. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. One.
Yeah, that's right.
Lakshmi madam.
Sriram Gopal is not the come back. Lakshmi, you want to say a few words? Lakshmi, yeah, Jignesh, fast.
So, is my audio clear now, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sriram, you finish and then followed by Jignesh.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. I'll actually like to read out a eulogy written by one of my colleagues. We, from all, of course, everybody spoken everything, and I'm sure you can go on, and there's no end to this. But we are from another generation who was much junior in SN, and we never really had the opportunity to get directly trained by this great man. So this is how it goes. Yes, we never had the opportunity to be directly trained by you, but we are mourning and grieving just the same. Even though we don't have any small personal stories with you, except the one odd time when we had to discuss a patient with you, for which we had to rehearse for hours. We don't have any memorable anecdotes to share, except the one time when you caught us flouting rules. We didn't really know whether you knew us by name, but we were pleasantly surprised when you called us by name from among a crowd. We've hardly been in your chambers, except for that odd time when we had to explain for not attending a lecture. We don't really have many personal pictures with you, except the ones when we are part of a large group. And most of us have never been to your home except for this one time. And yet we are mourning and grieving just the same, because you are the one and the only one. You are the lone star, and we are all moons shining in your light. My humble respects, sir. Thank you very much.
Dr. Mohan, I'll say a few words.
Who's that?
Lakshmi Maheshya.
Lakshmi, yeah, please.
Yeah. I think we should just imagine Chief as a large, big banyan tree. Like Krishna lifted the tree and all of us like tiny dwarfs there beneath. And we should continue the camaraderie. There are so many idiosyncrasies. There may be differences. We are in different places. Not all of us are still in SN. He called me a daughter. He started the creche for us, for me and Munna. What more can we ask? But I think the real legacy is not only carry his values, because there's so much in clinical practice which he has just imbibed to us. Even after you put your signature, you still write LM below, or you write your initial below. So you just can't forget him. Every day he's there. But I think the camaraderie between us should continue forever. That is more important, I think, to carry forward his legacy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lakshmi. I think we'll all be proud of the fact that SN Alumni Association is the most vibrant alumni association in the entire country. I think
we hope and pray that it continues forever.
It will continue because
Rashmin made a very valid point. He said people who are not even associated with SN felt so much, because I got so many of those messages. We are sorry for your loss. I was just surprised that people who are not associated sending it. So I think that's a very valid point.
Yes,
thank you, Dr. Mohan. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And sir, Dr. TSS.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I think
thank you, Dr.
I enjoyed most of it. So I think being the oldest bandicoot of Chief, I was a blue-eyed boy those days, and I think the very fact that when my son was born at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Deepavali day, 14th November 1982, Dr. Badri was there in half an hour time. And before even my parents could come, that's why I named him as Badri. This much of bondage is there. The chief returned from San Francisco just the previous day. And he still came in the early morning along with Apukuti. So I think I can narrate thousands of outlets how we shared a room in Coimbatore where he was reading for a long time the late night, and early morning he was washing his clothes. It was all, I think, such a simple gentleman, and I miss him a lot with heavy heart because 46 years association from VHS, very, very long journey. So I miss him a lot. I hope all of you will follow the legacy. And we have a lot of projects. We are also having a plan of making his chairman emeritus room as a museum. And so all his old glasses, first retinoscope, all these things, whatever we are able to find it out, we will place it in that room. It will become like a temple for us. Temple of the Eye will have a temple for us. We're also planning for a bust, and whether it is brass or this thing and all intricacies have to be planned. And the main hospital will be named after Badrinath. Shankar Badrinath
Thank
Campus.
you very much, sir. Thank you, Surendran, sir.
That's all I can say, and I am still under a lot of stress with his departure. So we have a lot of responsibility. So all of you should support alumni. We are looking forward for the fullest support to
Yes,
make
sir.
things
to
take to greater heights. Okay.
Yes, sir. We are
God
there.
bless. God bless all of you.
Yes, sir. We are there, sir.
Yeah, I think Dr. TSS chairman of Shankar Netralaya, our guru now, always guru, mentor, and he's been the most accessible of all
Yes.
people, and very, very, always charming. Sir, please lead us, sir. We'll follow you.
Yes.
And whatever you say, we'll follow you, sir.
Thank you,
Alumni, all are only workers. That's all. Employees. Okay. I'm an employee. There's no question of chairman, this, that.
Very humble.
Shankar Netralaya believes only in this thing. Work is worship.
Absolutely.
We do this with dedication and utmost love. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for
I
joining us,
request
sir.
Dr. Manoj Khatri. Manoj Khatri?
One.
Yeah. Jignesh, you're finished. Yeah. Jignesh.
Jignesh.
Then Manoj Khatri will just propose the vote of thanks.
Okay. So, thanks, Mohan, for allowing me. We did our this thing, SN stint with you.
Yes.
Tata, of course, we had Vijaya, Ramesh, and yes, that is Vimal Swarup. So it was really a temple of eye, as you all said. I would just like to share 2-3 things beyond ophthalmology: his humble nature, his humility, his compassion. Well, I was the first fellow from Pune, and he had a special attraction to Pune because ma'am is from Pune, Vasanti ma'am. So whenever he used to come here, he used to first call me, Jignesh, I am here. I would like to meet you. See, a person at his stature calling me, I was absolutely pleasantly surprised to get calls from him. And then we used to meet, of course, at Prasad's place, that is ma'am's sister. Another thing is my child. He had a number of abnormalities. So he required open heart surgery. So sir told me anywhere in the world, in fact, madam and sir both told me, yeah, anywhere in the world you tell me, I'll see to it that your child is comfortable and will be operated. So you don't worry at all. It was the beginning of the practice. That was in 88, 89, 90, 91, which I'm speaking of. Another incident is when he came to my house, he said, I would like to meet your parents. Well, I did not have a car that time. So I said, I'll have a taxi. And I said, you please don't do anything. I'll come it on my own. Then Sahana, Mr. and Mrs. Prasad, ma'am and sir came to my house. I'd arranged for the dinner. He said, we are not going to have anything. The moment he saw my daddy and mummy, they did Dandavat Pranam, absolutely flat on this. So that was his humble nature. He was a Padma Shri. So These are the incidents which I'd like to share about Chief. That is the stature this person has. Thanks a lot, Mohan.
Thanks, Dignesh. I really thank each and every one of you for sharing your feelings about Chief. I think he is living with us. He always lives with us, and will all. He has left a lovely legacy for all of us to take it forward. And I request Dr. Manoj Khatri now to say a few words and the word of thanks. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mohan.
I think most of the things have been, already highlighted by all of us. But just one thing comes to my mind is all of us pray every day in the morning. And we pray for what? We pray to God. And we are so fortunate that we have seen the real God in our life, who have touched all of us, who have made all of us what we are. And it's our collective responsibility now as an alumni association to take his legacy forward. And as what Dr. TSS sir and LV madam said, that we should be more responsible now to take Shankar Nethralaya to even greater heights, and not just focusing on the routine work what we are doing, but also support Chief's vision of taking ophthalmology to a different level altogether. Thank you so very much, all of you, for joining us. And Chief is always going to be stay in our hearts, in our spirit, and we wish him all the best wherever he is right now. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. And we'll just have a 1 minute silence for our Chief Guru. And for the information of everybody, that the entire this meeting has been recorded and will be available on the YouTube very soon.
Thank you, Mohan.
1 minute silence.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you,
Mohan. Thank you, everyone.
Good
Thanks,
night.
Nati.
And
Thanks, Manoj.
Thank you.
And good night. Good night.
Mohan and Nati has organized
Thank you.
it. So nice of you
Good night.
to share our
Bye.
experiences and pay a
I think
tribute.
it's your duty and responsibility. That's all, I guess. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Mohan. Thanks.
We're all part of the
Thank you
same
for
family.
arranging this, Mohan.
Yeah, thank you, Nadi.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for arranging this.
See you in Trivandrum.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes.